All right, let's dive into something, well, something pretty mind-bending. We're going to build a bridge today, a bridge between two worlds that you'd think have absolutely nothing to do with each other. The super weird subatomic universe of quantum physics and the incredibly deep internal world of Buddhist philosophy. And I'm telling you, this is a journey that might just change how you see, well, pretty much everything. You know, it all boils down to the biggest question we can possibly ask. What is all this stuff around us? What's the fundamental nature of reality? Is the universe made of solid little bits and pieces? Or is it something way stranger and way more connected than we ever imagined? For literally centuries, both science and spirituality have been chasing this answer, each on its own path. So, on one side, you've got quantum mechanics. It's the ultimate outward investigation, right? We're smashing particles together in giant accelerators to figure out what the universe is made of at the tiniest, most fundamental level. And then, on the other side, you have the Abhidhamma, this incredibly deep analytical part of Buddhism, which uses the focused human mind itself as the instrument, probing the nature of our own experience from the inside out. Two totally different tools, two powerful lenses, both pointed at the same reality. But here's the big question. What if these aren't separate paths at all? What if they're just describing different sides of the very same coin, a single, seamless reality? That's the whole idea we're digging into today as we try to build this conceptual bridge connecting these two profound ways of understanding the world. Okay, so every bridge has to start with a solid foundation. And for our bridge between physics and Buddhism, we have to start at the very, very bottom, at the foundational layer of existence itself. We gotta ask, where does everything we see and touch and experience, where does it all come from? And this is where things get really fascinating. Because believe it or not, both systems describe this ground level in ways that are, well, they're shockingly similar. Quantum mechanics calls it the quantum vacuum. Now, don't let the name fool you. It's not empty at all. It's this seething, fizzing sea of pure potential, where tiny virtual particles are just popping in and out of existence constantly. Then you look at Buddhist philosophy, and it has this concept called Śūnyatā, or emptiness. But again, it doesn't mean a void of nothingness. It means the unmanifest potential, the ground from which all phenomena, everything we can know, arises. See the parallel? So here's the absolute crucial takeaway. The fundamental stuff of our universe isn't solid chunks of matter, it's potential. It's like a field of pure information that exists before it ever takes on a concrete form. It's incredible, but both our most advanced science and our most ancient contemplative traditions seem to be pointing to the exact same thing. Okay, so if reality starts out as just this field of pure potential, that opens up a massive question. And answering it brings us to the main pillars that will hold up our bridge. This is probably the most radical, most mind-bending part of this whole idea. How in the world does that infinite field of possibilities collapse into this single, solid, definite reality that you and I are experiencing right here, right now? It's a central mystery, really, in both physics and philosophy. How does possibility become actuality? And the parallels here are just stunning. In quantum mechanics, it's the very act of observation of a conscious observer measuring something that seems to force a wave of potential to collapse into one single definite particle. It's wild. But then in Buddhism, a very similar process is described. It says that our intention-driven attention, where we choose to place our focus, acts like a filter that crystallizes a specific, concrete experience for us out of that same formless ground of potential. Now, if you follow that logic, it leads to a conclusion that is, well, it's absolutely jaw-dropping. This idea suggests that the very laws of physics might not be these fixed external rules set in stone. Instead, they could just be our habits, the stable, shared, collective habits of consciousness. Our shared karmic patterns create a shared reality with consistent rules. So get this. A being with a totally different kind of mind might literally experience a universe with different physical laws. All right, with that absolutely mind-bending idea in place, we can start paving the roadway of our bridge. It's time to completely deconstruct the world of solid things that we think we live in. I mean, your common sense tells you that the table in front of you, the chair you're sitting on, it's a solid, stable thing, right? Well, both quantum physics and Buddhism are here to tell you that this feeling of solidity is a profound illusion. And what's amazing is that both systems arrive at this conclusion in almost the same way, by deconstruction.
Physics keeps breaking down matter until it's not a thing anymore. It becomes a quantum, a momentary flickering event of energy. And Buddhism does the exact same thing with our experience, breaking it down into dharmas, which are just the flickering, momentary events of our consciousness and perception.
So here's the punchline. Reality isn't a collection of objects. It's a process. It's a dynamic, flowing, interconnected dance of these momentary events. Both lenses, one looking out at the world, one looking in at the mind, arrive at the very same conclusion. So our bridge is basically built. And now, standing on top of it, we get this incredible view. We can finally see the true, deeply interconnected nature of the entire universe.
In the world of physics, the ultimate proof of this connection is a phenomenon so bizarre that Einstein himself called it spooky action at a distance. It's called quantum entanglement. And it shows that you can have two particles so deeply linked that if you measure one, you instantly affect the other, even if they're on opposite sides of the universe. This proves the universe is fundamentally non-local.
But what if this bizarre physical fact isn't just some weird quirk of the quantum world? What if it's actually the measurable, physical evidence of a much deeper, metaphysical truth about how reality works? Well, that's where dependent origination comes in. This is a core teaching in Buddhism that says nothing exists on its own. Absolutely everything arises in dependence on everything else. It's all woven together in this vast, seamless web of cause and effect. So from this perspective, entanglement is just what dependent origination looks like when you try to measure it with our scientific instruments. Think about what that really means. The reason those two particles can be instantly connected is because at the deepest, most fundamental level of reality, they were never actually separate in the first place. The feeling of distance, of separation, it's an illusion. It's a product of how our minds filter reality, not reality itself. So where does all of this finally lead us? We've built the bridge, we've crossed it, and now we arrive at this grand, unified model of reality, a potential theory of everything that includes not just matter, but mind too. There's actually a philosophical name for a model like this. It's called dual aspect monism, and it's really the idea that mind and matter are not two separate things fighting each other. They're just two faces, two different ways of looking at one single underlying non-dual reality. So when you lay it all out, you see these two distinct paths that have remarkably similar goals. You've got quantum mechanics, the objective study of the universe, which is searching for a physical theory of everything. And then you've got Buddhist Abhidhamma, a subjective technology for the mind that's aiming for a state called enlightenment. And that leaves us with one last, really profound question to chew on. Could it be that these two grand quests of humanity, the scientific search for a theory of everything and the spiritual path to enlightenment, are actually just converging on the exact same destination, a direct, unfiltered experience of the seamless, interconnected, potential-filled nature of reality itself? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.